Conservative New Media viewers, we've got some news about Houston Rockets star point guard Jeremy Lin and his squad. Tonight, the Rockets have defeated the Memphis Grizzlies 109-102 in preseason game number 5 for Lin and Houston. The Rockets are now 3-2 in the preseason. We will get you a full set of links in the video description below the video player, including and starting with video highlights of this game and the box score of tonight's game. Now, let me go over some analysis here of what took place tonight. First of all, let's talk about Jeremy Lin. And let me start with the negatives just so I can get him out of the way. He still needs to work on his defense, both individual and team defense. Now, I think a lot of this has to do with his legs not being 100%. He's still not in full condition. He doesn't have his quickness back. He doesn't have his full lateral speed back. And I just think his legs are a little bit dead right now and just not in shape. So go easy on him on that. Second, don't jump to pass. Lin makes this mistake a lot. Sometimes you can get away with it. You see guys in the NBA get away with it. But fundamentally, you should not jump to pass the ball. And Lin does this a lot, and I think that hurts him a lot in turnovers. Number 3, he was tired in the fourth quarter, and that's not a surprise. He played 30 minutes tonight. He played well tonight, real well, but in the fourth quarter and near the end of the third when he was playing, I thought he looked a little fatigued, and that's probably ended up in some of the turnovers and some of the missed shots, particularly the 3-pointers that he missed in the fourth period. Okay, now let's get to the good points. First of all, Lin looked very good tonight. He had a great game. He had 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 12 assists, and only 2 turnovers along with 4 steals. Now, all you guys that listen to me know that I'm very big on the assist-to-turnover ratio for point guards. His assist-to-turnover ratio was 6-1. That is incredible. If he's able to play like this in the regular season, he is going to dominate, and the team is really going to do well. That is just a major statistical line that he put up tonight regarding assists and turnovers. He was playing against a good guard in Mike Conley. They pretty much played to a standstill in terms of overall stats. Conley scored more. Lin dished out more assists. I use a lot of time the efficiency stat, which is basically, or PER stat, player efficiency rating, which is basically all of a player's positive numbers subtracted by all of their negative numbers. Lin's efficiency number tonight was 17, and Mike Conley's was 19. So it was pretty much an even standoff, although Lin did play a little bit more than Conley, so that's an advantage to Lin. He was great in this game. He had a great layup. This amazing, I think it was, he did this crossover on Mike Conley. I think it was near the end of the first half, or maybe it was early in the third. He basically went, I think he went left to right. He faked, like he was going to go to his left, and then came back to his right and drove for a hoop. And that was one heck of a move. That shows me that he is beginning to get a little bit of his explosiveness back. Also, he had a driving left-handed layup in this game. That was great. Now, I'm always talking about him and his ability to use his left hand and to drive to his left hand. That layup was great. I can see that he is improving his ability to dribble with his left hand and go to his left hand more. I picked up on that. That's another good sign. He had good command of the offense tonight. Some great feeds to Omer Sheik and other players, and really happy with the play of Omer Sheik. He is coming along, and when he gets his offensive game, maybe in a year or two, when he gets his offensive game in gear to go along with his defensive game, that guy is going to be a very serious player. He's athletic. He's huge. He's a great defender, and he has good instincts. He's a good athlete. He was about 6 foot tall or something until he was 17 years old, and then had a major growth spurt. And I think he's retained a lot of his coordination and athleticism since he was a 6-footer. And he is going to be a heck of a player for the Rockets. Also tonight, I was extremely pleased with the play of Carlos Delfino. He shot the ball well. He is really going to help Houston. He is one of those solid, veteran, international experienced players who is going to be a key member of their bench unit. I thought the Rockets overall played well. I think they're beginning to build more chemistry as a team. Just coming back to Lin quickly, just an overall scouting report on Lin. And most people know this. I mean, this isn't breaking any new ground for a lot of people, but he is extremely fast from free throw line to free throw line. If you can't slow him down in transition in that space, he's going to beat you. He's going to hurt you. And I think a lot of people underrate how well Lin runs and how quick he is. I was looking at a source the other day, and I'll try to find a link for it. It's basically called it's called BAM, and I think it's Basic Athletic Measurement. These guys run testing for the NBA Combine and for the NIT, I think, or the Portsmouth something, which is basically like the junior combine for NBA prospects that maybe aren't top tier. And they had a comparison where they compared Lin, his athleticism, his speed, his power, compared to Derrick Rose and Kyrie Irving and one other player that I can't recall right now. It doesn't matter. I mean, you could see it. And essentially what they showed there was that I think Lin's speed, or his top speed, was right at the, it was better than two of the guys, and only behind a little bit slightly in Kyrie Irving. And Lin's deceptive that way. He's much faster than what you think he is. Now, they said that Lin's power was the lowest among those four players. That's probably maybe jumping ability or force. I'm not sure. But the other measurables, he was very comparable. And these are some of the best guards in the league. I mean, these guys are explosive, quick guys. And so Lin is he's able to do that. So if he's out in transition and he's got the ball and he's running, look out. He's going to make plays. He's going to beat guys to the hoop. He's going to find people and set them up for assist. Also, the other thing, of course, with Lin that he's great at is the pick and roll, particularly when he's able to go right. The way that teams are stopping him now, and you saw this at the end of last year, is you got to double him on the pick and roll and force him to go left. Now, that's when you'll see, and you'll hear me criticizing him, don't pick up your dribble when they force you left on the pick and roll. Don't give up your dribble. Keep dribbling. You don't want to lose your dribble. When he's able to get beyond that, when he's able to beat a double-team pick-and-roll defense that forces him left, then he's going to be incredibly difficult to stop in the half court. And again, he's almost unstoppable in the full court. He's just too fast, and he knows what he's doing. Another thing about him is Jeremy Lin, coming out of college, was a combo guard, meaning he was a shooting guard and a point guard. I think at Harvard he played primarily shooting guard. So, although I do believe he played point guard in high school in Palo Alto. So, those are two different skill sets. And so he's now trying to go from more shooting guard to more point guard, which is what he needs to play in the NBA, I believe. And he's getting there. Like I said, he flowed much better to his left today off the dribble. And remember, he still doesn't have his legs yet. And people are talking the knee and all this stuff. I don't think his knee is the problem right now, from what I've read and understand. I think the real problem is his conditioning isn't up to speed. In other words, he lost his conditioning because of the knee injury. He wasn't able to work out as much, and then everybody wants a piece of him now. He's, tour of Asia and Volvo and all this other stuff. I just think he wasn't able to get his speed and quickness and be in top shape. I think that's what he's dealing with right now, more so than a knee injury or a knee reoccurrence. That's my understanding, and I could be wrong about that. But overall, he was great tonight. I think this was his best preseason game so far of the 4 he's played this year. He played 30 minutes. His endurance is getting better. The assist to turnovers were terrific. The team played great. This team is extremely talented. They are going to scare a lot of teams. They are going to beat a lot of teams that are better than them or more experienced than them because they're deep and they're athletic. And if you're athletic in the NBA, you can beat a lot of teams. It's like what Oklahoma City did a couple years ago when they scared the Lakers in the playoffs and other teams. They can run, and it's like Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin a couple years ago didn't have the greatest post moves and stuff, but he's dunking over everybody. If you're athletic in the NBA, you can get a lot of wins and you can do a lot of damage. And I think that the Rockets are going to be able to do that this year, although I'm sure they might not make the playoffs, and if they do make the playoffs, they might get out-executed against a team that is older than them and that has played longer together. But this team is fun. I can't wait for the regular season to start. It's about 2 weeks away. Was really impressed with how Lin played tonight. I was extremely impressed with Kevin Martin as well. Kevin Martin a couple years ago was one of the most efficient scorers in the NBA. And maybe he'll get back to being that now versus being a volume scorer, meaning, maybe not as efficient. Now that he's playing with Jeremy Lin and some other good talent, maybe he can get back to that. He has such a sweet shot. Ashik was great. As I mentioned, Delfino was great. Terrence Jones was doing well again, the rookie. They look good, and Memphis is a legit team. Memphis is a top-tier team in this league. They're not at the very top, but they're probably the second tier. And as far as I know, everybody played for them tonight. Zach Randolph played, Marc Gasol played, Mike Conley played, Rudy Gay played. So this was not a concession by the Grizzlies, and Houston still found a way to win. I was very happy with this win tonight. We will be looking for post-game reaction from Jeremy Lin, so look for a video on that as we've done the last few games. We'll try to do that in a couple hours here. And once again, Jeremy Lin, excellent performance tonight. He didn't shoot the ball well. Don't worry about that. Most of that came because his legs were tired. And he missed a couple shots in the fourth quarter. I think he missed a shot near the end of the third quarter. He was tired. So if you're a jump shooter and your legs get tired, you'll miss shots. So I'm not concerned about that at all. The most impressive thing of the night was 12 assists. And as I've said in other videos recently, what you're likely to see from Jeremy Lin this season, you're not going to see Linsanity numbers like 25 points and 5 assists. You're going to see more like 12 points, 12 assists. He needs to distribute the ball better. He knows that in terms of he doesn't need to score as much because Houston has other players that can score. He knows that, and I think it's going to be a great match between him and the team. And this was a great victory, and I love it. I'm looking forward to the next game, which I think is not – they have a week off now, which means they have more practice time, and Jeremy can do more conditioning. I don't think they play until next Wednesday, but good win. Great job by Jeremy Lin. We will talk to you guys again soon. I am Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. Let us know what you thought about this video. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the game tonight. Of course, come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group. We'll have a link to that in the video description. And awesome stuff tonight. We'll talk to you guys soon.